a little bit more to the left. That's better. But I waited until the barik update was released to kind of show off what they changed to him. We're gonna run a quick game of barik here. I do have a new build I have to test as well. But basically, for those that don't know, they kind of tightened his spread a little bit on his primary fire if you're not running Tinkerer. They reduced the cooldown of Barricade and Rocket Boots by 2 seconds. They increased the duration of Barricade by 1 second. And they increased the damage per second on his Dome Shield by 200 damage per second. And they gave it an extra second. Now, to compensate for this, they did change a number of cards, which we're going to talk about. First off, they reduced the Palisade card from being maximum of 5 seconds to a maximum of 2 seconds. They reduced Foundation from being a maximum of 5 seconds to a maximum of 3 seconds. And they reduced Red Streak from a maximum of 7 seconds to a maximum of 4 seconds. That's the tier 5 effects. So I had to change over a lot of builds. Basically, this is a turret-oriented healing build called Self-Care. This works wonders if you have a weak healer like a Genos. Bowling Ball, this is a bit stronger now than it was before. It's kind of my flex build because I am able to actually have Healing Station in there at 3. Before I used to have Bowling Ball at 5 and I had Red Streak at 5, so I had a 7-second shield. Now there's no real purpose for that. I had every 7 seconds or actually it was less than that. I had a 7-second cooldown and I was able to get, you know, if you look at what Rocket Boots says, it's you get 1500 health shield during Rocket Boots and for 3 seconds afterwards. So that, for me, I was able to get, you know, I would have a shield up for basically 4 seconds. I'd have like a 3-second gap. And they actually took a second off that. It used to be 4 seconds. That's why I keep saying that. But to me, it's not worth it now. I'd rather have failsafe at 3. So every time I drop below 30%, every 30 seconds, I get a free bowling ball. So this gives me a bit extra tankiness, shield-wise. People tell me, oh, you should run Red Streak just as a filler, though. Yeah, I'm not going to do that, though. Barricade, this is my fortified build. I had to take a lot of points around and move this around how I wanted to. This is still a low health build. I actually had a few points into Brave and Bold. I actually had the duration at 3, and I had the cooldown at 4, the health at 4. I had 2 points in Brave and Bold. I had to take those 2 points off, 1 for Foundation, 1 for Palisade. This is still a strong build if you want to have a big tanky shield in front of you, but you don't really need it. Ruthless Barik Turd instead of Ruthless Bastard. This is actually a fun build to play around with eliminations with Tinkerer. It's a little bit less health that you have, and you heal a little bit less off your turrets. But it's a solid build for spamming abilities rather quickly. This is the build I'd like to try out today. This is a flank build, which is just basically Bowling Ball 5. Double time for Brave and Bold. I don't think this build is going to work, to be honest. But, yeah, we'll just do a new build. Let's see if we can come up with a new build. And everybody's told me to go with, you know, oh, go with maximum accelerator field. Yeah, I just don't want to do that, though. I really don't. So, what can the deploy time? Reduce the deploy time of your turrets by 3 seconds. You know what? Let's do that, because I haven't played around that at all. Yeah, I haven't played around this at all. We'll see what that does. That's the test build we're going to run. As usual, we're going to put on Onslaught. I do have to play 10 games and 2 frontline. I forget what the other one is, but looking at barik. Barik is strong, but he doesn't look strong. That's one of the things. He's one of those people that if he's picked, he's pretty fun to play around. But if he's not picked, then, you know, it's meh. I mean, compared to a lot of the tanks in the game, he has a good deal of sustain. He's in the same ballpark for sustain as Anara. And a lot of people say, oh, that's because they're a deployable base champion. No, he really does have a lot more sustain than people like to give him credit for. He, in my opinion, has the most sustain. I mean, Fernando has a lot with, you know, Formidable and Brand and Last Stand. Another tank with a good amount of sustain. Ashe is 50% life rip, but she only deals 300 or 400 per shot. You know, Khan has decent sustain with having increased healing per second while his shield is up. Getting increased heals while his shield's up, and he actually has a healing button. You know, Atlas has a lot of sustain. For similar reasons, you know, increased healing when his shield is up. He can heal when his shield is up. He can get a bonus 750 heal off a second chance. Makoa doesn't really. It's mostly life rip off of... You mostly get, like, it's life rip off of your hook. It's up to 250 health per second in your shield. And it's, up to 1,250 for each person you hit with Shell Spin. Ruckus has next to nothing. It's either health if you dash, health if you rockets, or health while in shield. Which... meh, that's not really that fantastic. Torvald has, like, no way to heal himself. He just gives himself shielding. And then Terminus has Playing God. He has a couple of life rip cards and stuff like that. He doesn't really have anything substantial. Playing God is fantastic, because that is all you need on him. But he does have a couple of other cards, that and damage reduction. But Barik is able to kind of be more of a stay-and-take-it type character without really being a stay-and-take-it type character. Close the laptop a little bit. You know, his barricade is good. You put it up in front of you. I actually need to change my gun. I don't like the... I'm supposed to have... Where's it at? That's what I want. So hopefully we can get Barik off the bat there. Not pick. Okay, so looking at Barik, what he has is he also has a wide variety. You need Cauterize to deal with the heal that he gets off his turrets. You need... Oh, wow. It's not a great map for Barik, but we can work with it. Didn't equip my gun. I don't know why I like this gun, but I've been running this gun. It's the gun, for whatever reason, it is the... And we have a Genos. Now, this right here is why Barik is so strong. We have a Genos. Genos is a character that does, like, no healing whatsoever to a tank character. So, having Barik, because of how strong his sustain is an incredibly helpful thing to have right about now. Pop off booster. I don't know why. But Sniper Pro 2-1. Do I know anyone here? Ultra Whoop Ass. I played against him before. Watson. I played against him before. Not bad. Not bad. See what we can do. I'm behind on more of my educational videos, but I do my educational videos best when I'm alone. So we are gonna take Tinkerer.
Spawn police! Spawn police!
So what does that do? The deploy time of the turret is reduced by that much. Oh!
Yo!
Am I getting a speed boost off my turret?
Soldiers, prepare for battle!
Don't get in my way.
Okay. Anyways, I think we're gonna take Haven here off the bat. Yomi. Okay. A lot of people want me to comment on Eminence Leon. I don't really know why, because I play mostly Alan's personal. He's so strongest. If I was on self-care here, I'd be a lot happier than this build. Oh wow.
First blood. Keep up the good work.
I am on new sensitivity.
Rewind that.
That feels great.
That's great.
Don't worry about holding this point.
Afraid of death.
My movement speed is so feels like my movement speed is so high.
Enemy killing spree.
Enemies on the right flank. Silence.
The Jenna. I need to go back to my old setting. Ha! Ha! See, barik on tinkering actually has a lot of damage. Because you can kind of just confirm. Oh. If I die, I'll retreat myself. No, they're just sitting here holding point, letting them go to town.
Enemy double kill.
Spawn police. The song will sing their tune.
No! Turnos, come this way!
Silent attack.
How about that?
Attack! Enemies on the right flank. Go, Ziggs!
Enemies behind us.
Nope! Oh!
My crusaders should be doing this messy.
Okay, we maxed out
Enemies on
Haven.
the right flank.
God, doesn't do it. There we go.
Attack.
Set up a defense, have one back here, one in here, have control. Trigger is really solid for damage. I liked Hair Trigger when it was in. The Hair Trigger was just one of those things that increased your DPS at close range. So I'd buy Nimble and I'd have a good speed build on my shield that just basically let me like rampage forward into them.
On my way.
Enemies on the right flank.
That was stupid. Got him.
Fought well.
This is
The
my
world
groove.
works
This
in
is my
mysterious
groove.
ways.
You're welcome.
Not bad. Not bad.
The world works in mysterious
You're
ways.
on fire.
But that's fair for you. I mean, I think that game's a little bit easy. It's easier than it should have been, but that's just me. That's just how I play barik. I like to sit there and just hold an objective. Very similar to Anora.
The sound is
Nice top play by Zen. Good all around game. I think the real problem there was just like, I mean that's barik. I've gotten to the point with barik where it's like, you know, it's kind of fire and forget. He's a good solid tank. I like to run him for a low damage team comp where the rest of the team is high. I mean, if you look at the amount of damage I did was pathetic. I still got 6 kills out of that though. I'm actually the 3rd highest damage. The other ones are higher the actual damage, and then Zen, but he did run Yomi. My objective time is unmatched. I have more objective time than every other person in the game combined. That's just my ability to dig in and hold point. That's pretty much how he plays. Alright, thanks guys for watching. Hope that was educational.